everybody, Coach Julia here. This is going to be a little daily shoulder mobility routine that you can do that's going to help strengthen and mobilize a lot of the major problem areas when people feel like they have restrictions in their shoulders or pain or things like that. I'm not going to need a whole lot of stuff, but I will need a couple pieces. A pair of small plates. If you don't have something like this, water bottles will work just fine. I need a thin band for today. The other piece of equipment you're going to need today is either a light kettlebell or a dumbbell. I have a kettlebell with me today. I'm going to need access to a wall. The first thing I'm going to start off with is a little bit of breathing. I'm going to do this from a quadruped position, which is hands and knees. For this particular variation, we're going to lengthen the tailbone down. So we're going to think about scooping our hips under. You're going to push away through the shoulder blades, so low abs are engaged, and then from here, I'm going to have you just peel those knees off the ground. As we hold and breathe, you're going to think about inhaling into that low back and into your upper back as well. Inhale through the nose, and you're going to maintain that position and exhale for a lot longer through the mouth. So think like 4-second inhale, 8-second exhale. We want that exhale to be really extended. So the next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of thoracic rotation, right? Getting my upper back to be able to move and rotate freely. Everything is always going to start center of the body and work out. So we can't work on these smaller muscles of your shoulder until we've really addressed the rib cage. In this position, I'm sitting back onto my heels. I've got one arm extended out in front of me. This is going to be my support arm. The other hand is behind my head. I inhale center and I exhale. I'm going to try to twist my upper back, allowing my eyes to follow my elbow as far as I can. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Inhale center. You can also play around with doing this with your hand behind your back. If you really struggle with this internal rotation of your shoulder, it'll just give us a little bit more practice at maintaining this position in the shoulder while adding some movement. This next exercise is going to be a variation of a wall slide. I'm going to show you really quick towards camera what it's going to look like, and then we'll do it at the wall. So when you're standing there, the first thing we want to address is posture. We're going to tuck the hips under, knees can be soft, rib cage is going to stay stacked over that pelvis. Your arms are going to start with your hands a little wider than shoulder width apart and your elbows slightly narrower. So we've got kind of a V position. Then from here, you're going to lengthen your arms up the wall without reaching that chest forward. So we're going to maintain that posture. Once you get up here, you're going to squeeze your shoulders up to your ears and try to lift your arms backwards off the wall. From the side, it'll look like this. Lengthen, lift, pull back. Pelvis tucked, knees soft, arms, ribs stay over the hips. The next movement that we're going to do that's going to get a little bit more specific into the internal and external rotation function of that shoulder is something called a swimmer hover. So I'm going to show you here what it's going to look like, and then we'll do it on the ground. You're going to start with both hands behind your head with your elbows pointed out to the side. You're going to lift your hands up, straighten your arms out. This should be very similar to that wall slide we just did. And as you reach your arms downward, you're going to internally rotate. So that shoulder is going to rotate inward as your palms point backwards. And then you bend your elbows up your back as high as you can. The next movement that we're going to do that, again, gets a little bit more specific in the shoulder is something called a full can or an empty can. So if you've got a lot of discomfort in your shoulders, you can do this body weight. As you start to build some strength, we're going to add a little bit more weight. Thumbs are either going to be pointing up, so we have a little bit of external rotation in the shoulder, or thumbs are gonna be pointing down, so we've got some internal rotation. So you're gonna start with your plates, thumbs up. You're going to start with hands nice and narrow. Lift up for my full can. Rotate down. There's my empty can. I rotate up, full can, rotate down, empty can. I can also do the inverse of this. Pinkies going up, then rotate, and pinkies coming back down. We're gonna continue building some strength. This one is more specific to your shoulder blades, to your scapula, and that's gonna be a band pull apart. We're gonna do these with a supinated grip, which is just palms up. From here, again, we're always gonna find that nice posture. Tuck the hips under, rib cage down, shoulders away from your ears, and then you're just gonna pull. Band comes all the way in toward your chest. Let it go all the way back. I always come back to tension. I don't want to return my hands in so close together that my band is now slack. Start with tension in the band. Squeeze all the way into your chest. Bring it back. Next, we're going to start to develop a little bit of pressing strength through our arms with a down dog push-up. So starting with hips nice and high, you're going to bend your elbows. Head comes forward between your thumbs. You push back to arms by your ears. Slight hinge forward, push backwards towards the thighs. We are going to use that bell for something called an arm bar. So I'm going to start with that bell out beside me. I'm going to load it onto that arm and set up pretty similar to how I do for a Turkish get-up. Rack the weight, bring it onto your chest, the same knee is bent, and then you're going to press that weight all the way up overhead. My other arm is going to reach out to a 45-degree angle. I'm going to push off of this leg and roll myself until I'm all the way on my side. I can stay here, or I can try to take it all the way to both hips squared to the ground. Give that a shot. If you're coming back from some kind of shoulder injury, or you just feel like you lack some general strength there, or some range of motion, right? We're having a hard time with the internal rotation or external rotation, this workout is gonna hit a whole lot of those bullet points. As always, if you like what you see, subscribe, leave me a comment for other things that you want to see, and I'll see you guys next time.